here we go. First category, my career.
And the player introductions are wrapped up. The starting five. Coming to you live on this Tuesday night. DA, take it away.
For most teams in the NBA...
It sure can. All right, DA, thanks. Well, Steve, we're just halfway through the season. What stands out to you so far and what you've seen?
Well, I think for me is those teams that are underdogs, they're overachieving. And some of those teams that we had out in front, we start to nitpick what's wrong with those guys. I think the halfway point is for teams both underachieving, overachieving to start to really kick in. And some of those teams do and some don't.
And a look at the starters for San Antonio. It's Aldridge at the power forward with Pirtle at center. White is out there with Murray, and it's DeRozan in at the small forward spot. And for the Lakers, LeBron and Davis, the incredible forward pair. And there's JaVale McGee, and it's Caruso in at the shooting guard. And so it's DeRozan. He'll bring it up for San Antonio. And it's JaVale McGee with the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
That's something you hate. You're trying to come in with an aggressive mindset, and that early foul could take you right out of it.
And DeRozan kicks to Murray. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
Every time I see Murray, I'm reminded that he has a lot of moves around the cup.
George dishes to LeBron. Back to George. All alone. Nice jump shot. Good.
George!
Here's San Antonio now. Last time they met was in San Antonio.
Rough game defensively. I mean, they lost a lot of the individual matchups, and the help was slow to rotate.
Point blank, this is a bad combination. If you're looking to get stops, that's not the way.
And the officials calling for a 3-second violation. It's stolen by DeRozan. And stolen by LeBron. The pass to Caruso. That falls. Nice speed that time from George.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Wow, that's a defensive breakdown. Can't do that against good scores.
Here's Aldridge. Back to Murray. Lets it go with a 3. And James pulls it down. Last game for the Spurs, they picked up the W against the Clippers in Los Angeles.
And making his return from the ACL tear, DeJounte Murray, long, athletic, and young, he still has a very bright future.
And the Spurs with possession here after the basket by Los Angeles. Shot clock at 6. He gets it in there. Murray's got his second basket of the night.
There's the floater game. Murray incredibly smooth in everything he does.
And Murray winning second team all defense in 2018. And Greg, at that time he was only 21.
And that's been his strong suit. If he can hit perimeter shots consistently, he can be a star.
And here is Murray following the 3 from George. Pirtle with the ball. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. Outside, White. And Davis sends it back.
What's crazy about AD as a shot blocker, he can block your shot at all 3 levels.
Outside, White. Aldridge trying to break free, and they call the foul, so he's got the and 1 chance here to make it a 3-point play. Big group substitution here for the Lakers. Howard's checked in for JaVale McGee. Kyle Kuzma comes in for Davis. Caldwell Pope, he's checked in for James. And it's Green in for Alex Caruso. Damari Carroll's checked in for San Antonio. Ricky Rubio comes in for Murray. George with the ball. Picked up by Aldridge. And it's denied.
You could just see the reach that Carroll has on that defensive play. Nice block.
Walker's checked in for San Antonio. And it's out of bounds. The Lakers able to retain possession here.
Great energy.
At the line for the Spurs, Ricky Rubio, taking 2 shots.
Two. Out there on the floor.
A platoon swap here for the Lakers. San Antonio also making some changes. Jakob Poeltl's check in for Aldridge. White comes in for Lonnie Walker. And it's DeJounte Murray in for Ricky Rubio.
And that's a nice pass. The patience of LeBron to let the play develop.
And it's DeRozan with the ball for San Antonio. LeBron and Davis, the incredible forward pair. And there's JaVale McGee. And it's Caruso in a 2-guard. That's the Laker 5.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
The defender gets caught in a bad position. LeBron powerful enough to convert through contact. Let's see what he does at the line.
Still playing at an MVP level. LeBron James, the greatest player of his generation, and some would argue of all time. We can't take for granted what we've been able to witness.
Now here's Murray. He's definitely a factor in their offense, averaging 12 points a game. And it's DeRozan missing.
And the pressure he put on that shot forced the miscue.
The rim protection at its finest. The result is the same whether you block the shot or simply change it.
And now in his mid-30s, LeBron showing no sign of slowing down.
His dedication to training and really maintaining his body, second to none. Alongside his prodigious athleticism, it seems that's made a huge difference.
Now here's Murray. Outside DeRozan. That one's off. Still out of sync.
What a defensive play. Gets the stop and does it without fouling.
Davis finds George. And it's Davis with the jam.
This is what you want from AD, to use his size and skill to cash in on second chance opportunities.
Pass to Carroll. Here's Poeltl. He's guarded by Davis. And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing.
The defensive impact of Jakob Poeltl giving the Spurs a boost. Great timing and instincts as a shot blocker.
And he's good on the second. And coming to San Antonio in the Kawhi Leonard trade, the Spurs hoping Poeltl can be a difference maker.
You know what, Kevin? Already their best role threat offensively. He rarely misses with his right hand in close.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, my cousin LaMarcus Aldridge is not the flashiest player, but he is respected. His former teammate in Portland, C.J. McCollum, said he hasn't changed his game to try and fit the new NBA. He shoots mid-range, scores under the basket, strong as heck. He knows who he is. And Kevin, LaMarcus isn't really my cousin, but his game never goes out of style.
You're right, D.A., and he is still getting it done. Thank you. Here's Murray following the bucket by the Lakers. Bounce pass from Carroll. Pass to DeRozan. Good D by LeBron.
And he's been way off the mark this quarter. It's been ugly.
George passes to Caruso. Murray against George. Releases from 15. Controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Here's DeRozan. 38 points for him last game against the Clippers in Los Angeles. Just 5 on the clock. From deep. Hurdle. Anthony Davis firing on all cylinders for the Los Angeles Lakers. Thanks for the great interview, David, and we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball. And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly even so far. You look at Anthony Davis in this game, he's been everywhere.
Well, we'll find out if they were able to find an answer for him over the break. He was scoring with ease in that first half.
I think both sides probably adjusted a few things. The key for him is to bring the same level of energy over these last 2 quarters.
Our second half of basketball, and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. On the court for San Antonio, it's Aldridge at the power forward with Pirtle at center. DeJounte Murray is out there with Derek White, and it's DeRozan in at the 3 slot. Well, when the game is decided and the clock is running out, the winning team shouldn't try to score, but we're seeing more of that these days. I'm not sure why. Kind of an unwritten rule. What do you think about that, Steve?
Yeah, Kevin, it used to be, and I watch a lot of these players come in. The game is decided. You know, they're up 10 or down 10, and they're still out here dunking, shooting. Back in my day, Kevin, you get that little ugly look from the team, and then the next game, you usually come up with a hard foul against you just to send a message.
Here's Murray. The jump shot from the baseline is right on target. Murray's got 6 points.
With the lift Murray gets on his jumper, he can get a clean look from mid-range at any time.
Good on the 3-point shot.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
To the middle, here's DeRozan. No good on that one. Excellent D that time there from McGee. And that one's good. George has got the lead up to 6 now for Los Angeles.
Throughout the evening, he's gotten to his spots, and the defense has not adjusted.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game.
And you look at all the under-the-radar prospects that have found success with the Spurs. How do they keep hitting on all these players other teams have missed?
They do a great job with their player development. They also do a great job identifying players with great character. They have guys who work extremely hard. They have great coaching, and they teach. But more importantly, what they do, GA, they give you confidence. And that's where I think the Spurs separate from other organizations.
Now Green after the missed 3 from Jakob Poeltl. Nice passing here by Los Angeles. And there's George. That's good on the assist by Kuzma. And now it's a 9-point Laker lead. Now here's Mills, guarded by Green. Pass to Rubio. And the pass to Pirtle. Outside, Walker. They need this. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Caldwell Pope outside. Here's George. And he can't extend the lead to double digits. Spurs trail by 9. And it's Walker penetrating. And he uses the glass on the layup. Walker's got 7 points.
Oh, nice drive there to get to the bucket, using some of that terrific agility that he possesses.
And the Lakers call time here. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
That's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game. And that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
Here's Rubio after the made shot from George. And Rubio kicks to Aldridge. Takes the 13-footer. Rubio misses.
A good job by him on the glass here tonight. +8 in that department.
The three from George. No points to be had here. Misses for the 5th time in 13 tries. Knocks it loose. Stolen by George. In for another field goal. A sublime 9 of 14 on the night.
You know he's going to take a lot of shots out there. He's their #1 option right now.
Walker looking for an opening, and George gets the whistle that time. Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. DeMar DeRozan, he's checked in for Aldridge. Walker comes in for Damari Carroll. Derek White's checked in for Patty Mills. And it's DeJounte Murray in for Ricky Rubio. The shot's good from McGee.
Beautiful call that time up the floor. The hard screen frees him up for the bunny.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
LeBron and Davis, the incredible forward pair. And there's JaVale McGee. And it's Caruso in at the 2 spot. That's the Laker 5.
He's doing what he can to help them cut into this lead. His shot just isn't quite there tonight.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish. Murray, no good.
And they've controlled the boards, and that's a big reason why they're controlling the lead.
And there's the feed to George. And there's another one for the Lakers.
Well, AD attracts so much attention. He's learned to stay patient and just locate the open man.
Murray against George. Here's the floater. McGee with the block. Here's James, and LeBron throws it down hard.
Add that one to LeBron's highlight reel. How about the creativity in midair?
And we're about 3 minutes into the 4th quarter. Spurs trail by 14. Right side, DeRozan. James with some nice D.
And his pure defensive effort changed that shot from an easy one to a tough one.
And you know, technically, it's a high percentage look, but this is why we play the game.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. They're trailing by 16. And there's a minute 45 left in the 4th quarter. And now a moment to take a look at our Jordan Player of the Game.
And what an amazing ball game we've seen from him. It's been a one-man show worth the price of admission all by itself. There wasn't anything he couldn't do on that court tonight.
This is as good a game as we've seen him play, and this crowd can't get enough of it. When he explodes like this, it becomes a special atmosphere in here. Here's DeRozan. Smitty, we're seeing preseason and even regular season games take place overseas on foreign soil. Would you have enjoyed that when you were playing?
Yeah, for sure, Kevin. I know the travel is an added challenge, and at the same time, you appreciate where the game takes you. It is definitely growing globally, going places you might otherwise never experience, especially in a basketball setting.
George passes to McGee. And Pirtle pulls it down. Spurs trail by 16.
And this is going to end in a lopsided victory. I love the tenacity and aggressiveness, as well as the ability to close. You really got to give it up here for the Lakers.
They had to battle for this win. There were times when it looked like it was maybe slipping away a bit, but they never let that happen, which I thought was a real credit to them.
And that's a product of their mental toughness. Anytime the flow of the game turned against them, instead of caving, they just dialed it up a notch and were able to pull away.
And this will now push it to a total of 44 games in the win column on the season.
And bragging rights between these teams were on the line today, and they put in some very good work to earn it.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for George.
A big part of their success was his ability to keep the ball moving, finding guys when they would flash open.
And Davis puts it in.
And it's just competing, you know, giving your best when it matters most.
It's called killer instinct. It's one thing to be close at the end. It's another to finish.
Here's Aldridge. Rebounded by the Lakers. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. No one covering. That's now 32 points for George.
And you know they feel good giving their fans a show here while taking care of business.
They're going to win by a nice margin. The effort was there all night.
And he can time his passes so perfectly. Wow, what an assist.
And guys, they can just sit on the ball here if they want to.
They have earned this win.
The three. And again, it's the Lakers from deep.
Their ability, again, to stretch the floor, particularly in this second half.
This was obviously a focal point coming out of the break. Look smart when the shots are going down.
Substitution on the court.
And so it's the Lakers taking care of business here. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team by 50.
Perfect game, and to have that crowd be so pumped up.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thank you. Jay, big night for you behind the arc. How were you able to find and keep your rhythm out there?
David, thank you as always.
Hey, Jay, they want you to do some press tonight.
All right, no problem.
Great game, Jay. Can you talk about your performance beyond the arc tonight?
You know, tonight was one of those nights where you just